Hey guys, so this is installing the Dension Pro Bluetooth kit with the standard Audi TT Concert 2 head unit. So first things first is that you want to start by removing the light switch and disconnecting it. This is part of removing the steering wheel for those of you that wish to install the microphone within the head cluster. Next, you've got T25 screws that have to come out. There's several across the car, starting obviously on the right hand side where we've removed just with a simple clip pull of and using a trim tool to remove where the fuse box is. And you've got several on the side there. So once again, these are a torx 25s. Again, further torx 25 screws that you have to unscrew from underneath the dash. It's all very straightforward. I believe there's 3 or 4 in total at the bottom there. And this just easily shifts out just with the, just a gentle pull. You'll be able to release the bottom there, and that's a good spot if you want to obviously feel through and bring the microphone to mount on the steering wheel itself. We opted to obviously do it from behind the cluster. Next, there's several more screws there. That releases that part of the dash, which then with a bit of a gentle pull left and right will come out, followed by a releasing of some clips. So these are the clips on the side. You can just use a simple flathead screwdriver to just unclip them. Just be very gentle, because once the clips break, they're hard to replace. And there's one on each side, including one towards the center. And then lastly, another clip there. Now to get the Concert 2 head unit out, basically what you want to do is using the special tools provided by Cushie Audio. You want to point it inwards directly underneath where the two knobs are. You should be feeling around for a clip. Basically you'll really understand and feel once it's in, you'll feel the clip happen. You may need to slightly bend them just to get it to do so. As we were having a bit of trouble on the right hand side, we just gave it a slight bend, as you can see there, pushed it in and you hear it click straight away. And then it's sort of like opening a drawer. You just pull them both simultaneously together and you'll see them slide out. Now, once you get to this part, it's very important to make sure that you know or have your security code on the either on the radio or in your logbook somewhere, just so that way if you disconnect the radio, you'll have the code to unlock it. We put a bit of a towel down on that dash area just because I couldn't actually disconnect the power for it because I didn't have the code at the time. So just a very handy tip. Make sure you have the code prior to disconnecting the power from the head unit. These clips easily clip into the these adapters easily clip into the Dension. What we chose to do was to actually mount it around the back, and there's special holes that you can then actually put through zip ties to then snugly tie it in behind the dash there. Others may prefer to, just for ease of access without having to pull the dash out, might want to just simply place it behind the head unit. It's just obviously a very tight and confined space, so it's quite tricky to obviously put them back there, but it's definitely achievable. So easily just clip in the matching harness. And then the next part is obviously wiring through the microphone cable towards the center dash. So as we can show you here, we've basically mounted the microphone into that section of the dash that actually is made for the microphone. Some may come, usually the 2005 onwards, have a microphone pre-installed there. But yeah, you can easily just disconnect it, and then you can actually just place in the Cushie microphone within that snug spot there. And then just using the double-sided tape to make sure it stays in. Next part is the tricky part of putting it back together, and that's simply having to slide it in underneath the dash without scraping. There's two clips on the top, and then you basically just work your way to squeeze it back in. Yep, so it's basically like a slide forward at a slightly diagonal angle, and then pulling it up, and then you'll feel it clip into place. Took us a few goes. Now, really important thing that you do first before screwing everything back together is obviously testing that it works, that the microphone's in a good spot, and that you got a decent clarity when making a test phone call, because the last thing you want to do is obviously screw it all back in and you've put the microphone in the wrong spot.